How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In the previous video, we painted Gina's bus and got this thing done before winter started coming in. And in today's video, I'm not sure exactly what's gonna start and end in it, but the first thing I'm gonna start tackling is Dale's engine. Some of the parts came back in, the water pump came in, so I'm gonna start putting back in whatever parts I do have, and we're gonna see how far we get on that. Dale, on the other hand, has been absolutely booking it on the inside. He is not living up to his slacker name, I'll be telling you that. Dale, you want to show us what you've been up to? You have...
Sure, Mike. Come on in.
Dale, I am proud to be your friend, man, with what you got done. I remember that, you know, I've been doing a lot of Dale's electrical stuff, working on the engine, painting Gina's bus, but this is what Dale's been doing in the background. I'm going to let Dale give you a quick tour.
All right, well, we finished the roof. We do still have to put the shroud up for the fan. And then I started on the walls, got them all. I did change the color again back to the darker for the walls. I decided to build a wall here. It's only a half wall, but the stove will actually sit in this area here, so I did want a fire break of some kind between the bed, the mattress, and the stove. Other than that, you might look down here and see all this. We've been calling this man glitter, but we're changing the name of it. Now it's redneck floor grout. What I'm doing is I'm going through every time I get some sawdust and I'm filling the cracks in, and once I get them nice and filled in, I'll come back with there again with the polyurethane, put a coat of polyurethane on it. Hopefully that'll hold it in a little bit better, give it a little bit different look. You know, something we're trying. If it doesn't work out, it'll sweep out eventually, or something else will go in its place. Other than that, like I say, that's pretty much it. I did go over and get my cabinets back, and trying to figure out the exact placement of where the cabinets need to be in relationship to the counter that I have. I do have a really nice piece of wood that eventually I'll be putting in permanently as the counter. At least that's the plan. But I also have the counter that I made when we went to Colorado, which is what I'll be putting in for semi-permanent basis, just depending on, you know, I'm getting a lot of flack for doing too much work, so as a slacker, the other countertop may never actually get put in. The wood will get you put to a good use. If nothing else, I'll make a workbench out of it at the house. You've got the inside pretty much handled, but if I don't get this engine back together, this bus ain't going nowhere. So you keep working on the inside, and I'll be out front if you ever need anything. Just don't you honk the horn and scare me or something. I would never do that intentionally. All right, and while Dale, like I said, is working on that, my dad showed up for the weekend, and since I'm trying to keep Dale moving on the inside, my dad, you know, asked him and solicited for his help to get this engine back together, because I'm gonna need a second helping hand. Just kind of hold all, you know, everything in place while we're putting the bolts in or getting the hoses back and connected. Thanks, Dad, for helping out. You know, we're just gonna keep the project rolling, as Dale says.
I come bearing gifts.
You what?
I come bearing gifts.
Did you come bringing a water pump and a filter and a bearing and parts?
Lots of stuff here.
Well, guess what? You get to help me put them in. I just told everyone you're gonna help me out.
That's exciting. Let's go.
It's always easier once you get everything apart. If you saw the previous video, we ripped the water pump out and everything. We just got all of our different fittings and hoses off of this one so we could transfer them over to the new one. But it's literally, I mean, once you get it all apart, it's pretty easy to put back in. I mean, the new part's right here. So we just got the gasket put on. We just have to really screw it in and start putting everything back together. You know, it's one of those, you hope everything goes back together just as easy as it came apart. Well, that didn't take too long to hit our first snag. We got all of the pulleys in, so we got all new pulleys, we got our new water pump, but unfortunately, I'm still waiting on the tensioner and a couple of other little parts that are gonna stall me from here. I thought I was gonna be able to get more in than this, but you know, It's the parts we got. It's the parts that I got in. So at this point, I'm gonna have to leave the engine for maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. The parts are supposed to come in the next day or two. So now what I'm gonna end up doing is Dale asked me to put in his 30 amp and his water inlet, which are gonna go somewhere right in this location. I gotta confirm with him exactly where they're gonna go. But we wanna get that 30 amp water in to where his bed, actually I can see the wall right here. So his bed is right here, which means they're definitely gonna go somewhere in this back 2 window bay area. Hey Slacker, how's it slacking?
Slow but sure today.
Do you want to point out about where you want your water pump at 30 amp, and I'll get started on those for you? Spot.
Sure.
I'm assuming you want it in the back bed somewhere.
Yes. I would say that the water inlet needs to be somewhere in this area.
Okay.
I mean, if we can get the water tank, it's right out there, but all the things are on this end of it, and it ends right at the... There's about 4 inches between the wheel well and the tank, so...
Within that window right there, like right in that spot. And then if I put your 30 amp back in this corner right there, is that fine?
Yeah, because the box itself will have to come over into here somewhere. You look at the feng shui of the, where the water fill is and where that is, and kind of, get them on the same plane.
Just make it look nice.
There you go. That's the clue.
So I was just walking outside to figure out where I wanted to put this hole, and something that I realized when I was talking with Dale about this location is the height of the water tank. I know I did this on Ivan. If you saw my Ivan build series, we made a mistake by how high we put the water fill, and we end up pretty much losing part of the capacity of our tank. So Dale wanted it down in this location, but you can already tell by the line in the wood that it pretty much hits the height of the tank. So if we were to do that, the water would only fill the tank to the height of the fill. So we came up with the idea of, hey, we'll just put it up in this section. But we can't, because from the window down about 8 inches is the rub guard on the side of the bus. The problem is that it's really bumpy, and it just would be impossible to waterproof to do that. So this location won't work, this location loses capacity, so we came up with a solution, and that is to actually put it up into this piece. We're gonna end up putting it right here. It's a black fitting, so it's gonna match in fine anyway. And then what it does is it gives us from up here all the way to about here on the top of the tank. And that's gonna give us more than enough room to make sure that he won't lose any water from it sloshing back and forth, or from him just losing capacity because of the location of the fill. I think we found a pretty good solution, and now I just gotta drill some holes in the side of his bus. That's always fun. All right, we just got the water inlet screwed into location. I didn't caulk it yet or waterproof it. Dale and I are gonna go down to the store real quick and get the fitting for the backside threads. And then we know that we have the right one before we actually seal this in. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go buy one, come to the bus and test it, to go back to the store, come back, test it, go back to the store. We know that happens like a million times. So we're gonna figure that out. Then I'm gonna come back, caulk this thing up, and then we'll have it installed. And then it's pretty much done. We can move on to the 30 amp outlet. Good luck, Dale.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back already.
Bye, Mike.
Bye, Dale, again.
Good luck.
Since Dale's gonna go get the fitting, I'm gonna figure out exactly where the 30 amp's gonna go in this back corner, and I'm gonna get that guy drilled in and put in. So I don't think I'm gonna get done by the time Dale gets back, but I'm at least gonna get it started. All right, well, we got Dale's water inlet in right here. Come out and down the wall, kind of make it look nice because it will be above the bed in this location. But it does give him a good amount of distance between there and the tank. And then I just put in the 30 amp back here. So what I'm gonna start doing is wiring in this entire back section. Dale is eventually gonna be putting in a whole, big lithium solar system, but right now we're not gonna be doing that. He just wants to get it so that it's wired kind of like my bus Ivan, where it's gonna work off of a 30 amp, or it's gonna work if he plugs a generator into the 30 amp, but if he unplugs that, there will be no power. So it's gonna be a pretty easy, basic system. I'm gonna be using this RV converter, which will take in 120 volts. It will then send it out to wherever he wants, but then it also will have a converter in it, which turns it into those wires you see, a 12 volt service, and then he'll have 12 volt throughout his bus as well. So it's not off grid, but it will give him the ability to have power really quickly and before he leaves. Dale, you got anything to add?
Not really, Michael. You're doing a great job. I'm just kind of working on the cabinet here. I got a board on now. I got to wait for the glue to dry on it, but I'll get the cabinet in, get it screwed to the wall, figure out exactly where it needs to be for the counter. Also, we got the wires up here. I think at some point Mike's going to wire the switches for the LEDs, so I should be in pretty decent shape. I mean, there again, we're not going to get things completed quite like we had hoped, but it'll be good enough where if I actually want to go on a trip or use the box truck, either one, I'll be in good shape.
Well, I'm going to get to putting all this back here and see how far we get, see where it ends up. I don't know how many parts I have. I don't know if I have all the parts, but we're just going to keep going, and then when we run out, we'll just switch on to something else.
Yeah, you got electric, water.
Yeah, electric, water, wood. There's always something.
There's always something. If not, I'll walk down to the store and buy something.
I put Dale's 120 12 volt converter right here in this back corner. It's a good location that in the future when he does put a solar system in, all the wires are already going to be to about the right location, so it won't have to cause too many adjustments in the future. But I just got the wire looms all done so that they're going to be going all the way around up into this section of the bed. Dale asked for me to do a permanent fan up in this location, so when he's laying in bed he can just flip a switch and a fan will be able to blow. His three-way puck lights, I have a switch up in the front. I'm going to put another one right here that are going to be tied together so that he can turn off the lights in the ceiling from the front of the bus, or he can do it from right here. And then lastly, we got all the other wires run for his 12 volt, plugs in the kitchen, his water pump, all that kind of stuff. So now that I have it all run in the wire looms, all that I have to do is tie it down, make it kind of nice and tight in the corner so that when we put the water tank in, it's not going to be in the way. Just pretty much a bunch of zip tying, electrical taping, and yeah, just wiring. Well, it's day 2, and there's lots of stuff to do. Dale's working on the counter. He got it all glued in. He's going to be setting that guy. And I've got about 2 hours before I have to head out and go pick someone up. And I'm going to try to get all this electrical that we left off last night going and get it installed. So at this point, Dale's electrical system on the passenger side of the bus, the 12 volt part to it, is pretty much mostly done. I just got the rest of the wires ran from this location. We had them break off in the tubing, and then I have another one that goes off to the front for his kitchen. It goes underneath, and then it comes up. We've got this one right here, which goes up to his fan, and then the rest of the wires continue over to his three-way switch, which I explained before, were put right here. And then all those wires for the three-way switch come all the way up to this location up in Dale's front cabinet by the door, and then we're gonna put a light switch up here as well. So now he'll have, like we said before, a light switch here, a light switch right there, and his full 12 volt power on this side of the bus. Now, I won't get to it in this video, but I'll just let you guys know that Dale's driver's side, we ran a larger wire over here to where his fridge is gonna go. There's gonna be a small cabinet right about here. And we're gonna put another DC panel right here, and then we're gonna do all of his driver's side loads on this side of the bus off of that fuse panel. So Dale has a bit more time to figure out exactly what he wants to do on this side of the bus. But pretty much, it's gonna be almost identical to this, just on the other side. All right, I got as far as I want to go on the electrical for this point. I have about 30 minutes before I have to leave to go to the airport and pick someone up. So what I'm gonna do real quick is Dale's tensioner came in on the engine. So I'm just gonna put that part in. I'm just wanting to just step by step get every piece we can, one by one, and reinstalled on this engine. We're missing like one part, I think, just the pulley for the water pump. But you know, it's supposed to come in the next few days. So fingers crossed we get it before Dale has to leave. Since I just put this tensioner in, I figured I might as well show how they actually work, because a lot of times they're so buried in the engine, you never see what happens. So I just have my ratchet, 1/2 inch, stick it into the square that's in there, and when I pull, and what this is doing is it's releasing the tension so that when the serpentine belt's on there, you're able to get it off. And then all you gotta do, pull your ratchet out, and you're good to go. And that's really all a tensioner actually does. I think they're interesting, so I just wanted to show it quick. And now we have a whole bunch of new components on the bus. A pulley, tensioner, water pump. We're just waiting for like, I think 1 or 2 more parts. Like I said, just another pulley. But at this point, we're getting to the time of the day where I'm gonna have to head to the airport. I'm gonna stop at the store, pick up some stuff for Dale's bus. But when we get back, we're gonna have a new friend on the compound. Do you know who's coming, Dale?
I know who's coming. Do you know who's coming?
I do.
They don't know who's coming, though.
Not yet. Hey Rachel, do you know who's coming?
I know who's coming. I'm excited. I've actually never met this person in real life, I don't think.
Really?
I'm like 99% certain. I was in Australia when you guys were hanging out.
You guys know who's, yeah, they're on a plane right now. I just messaged them. Bye, Dale.
See you.
Good luck with that countertop.
Yeah, just as a hint, you know, this is probably the most cool person you'll ever meet that's uncool.
I'll be back with our friend, guys. I'll be back with our friend. Alright, so we just showed up at the airport. I am about 2 minutes from pulling up to the terminal to go pick up our friend. This friend, many of you know from my previous videos, we haven't seen this person for over, I think almost 2 years now, but they're gonna be coming in for about a week and a half, just to simply hang out, be around the projects, be around the builds. You know, we're probably gonna get a bunch more done on Dale's bus and Gina's bus, because now I've got, you know, an extra working hands of someone who has built multiple buses before. So this is gonna be pretty exciting, just because it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a big reunion. I just got a text message that the plane landed, so now I gotta go find the terminal, wait for the bags. We're gonna go pick this person up.
Yo, what's up?
Hello! I think I see you. You're in a black shirt, black with
I got my Jack the Pumpkin King on.
Awesome. All right, I see you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should probably unlock the door.
Hey, let me in.
Yeah, Dean! Dale is so happy right
like
now,
my
he doesn't
dance?
even know it.
Where is Dale? Is he in this cooler?
Yeah, he's back there. He's
What
with
is
the
going
toilet
on?
paper. Well, we had a late night getting back from the airport, but Dean is officially here. If you guys don't know Dean, he was formerly the Skoolie. Now he is Uncool Dean. He lived on a bus for quite a few years. I met Dean 4 years ago. 4 years?
Yeah,
5?
I think it was
5 years ago?
Yeah.
It was like right when I moved into my first bus, Navi. Dean lived in a bus at the time, and we traveled together for a good bit. And then years after that, we've done tons of different adventures, built vintage campers, lived in truck bed campers, tents, and just all over. But we haven't seen each other for about a year or so, just due to the travel restrictions, just trying to, you know, stay put for a bit.
And I'm tired of him.
Yeah, and we just don't like each other anymore, so, you know, it's just not really fun to hang out with him. But Dean wanted to come out and visit. We've been talking about trying to meet up for quite some time, so it finally happened right before Dale is heading out. So Dean's going to be here for about the next week or so, helping up on Dale's bus and just hanging out up here in the Adirondacks. He's planning out the dinette for Dale's bus, you know. He shows up and Dale, the supervisor, is already putting him to work.
And then he leaves.
Yeah, now, where's Dale? Dale, supervisor, Dale. We're unsupervised. So now that Dean's here, we got to get the bus completely put back together, finish up the engine, and it looks like Dale's going to be starting up on the dinette in the next few videos. But, yeah, with that said, you know, we got Dean here, so get ready for the next one. And thanks for watching. See you next time.